Hey then, welcome on back. As always, I'm Carl with Dark's Attitude, absent-minded professor knives and all things sharp. So I'm back, grab your pens and paper, class about to begin. Today, we're looking at a newer knife from K-Bar, the U.S. Space Force knife. Yes, the new Space-Bar from K-Bar. Interesting little knife. Actually, not so little. Very unique in appearance. Definitely eye-catching. But before we get too far into this, let's get the syllabus work out of the way, shall we? If you're new to the channel, welcome. Here on Fridays, we do mainly knife reviews. Occasionally, I'll do a review of some piece of camping or survival equipment. You know, cooking equipment, compasses, lights, that sort of thing. But mainly knives. Then on Mondays, we do knife basics, what you really need to know. This is aimed more at the new person to the world of knives who wants to understand what we're talking about. What is 1095? What is HCR 13MOV? What is S35V? What do I mean when I say clip point or hollow grind? These sorts of things. Basically, it's to help you get to the point where you're not going, yeah, okay. For those of you who have been with us for a while, welcome on back. I'm glad you could make it. Just got one question for y'all. And yes, you know what it is. Have you subscribed yet? Okay, good. We've got a fair number of people who have subscribed. So, actually, we've got over 700 people who have subscribed, which is great because I'm trying to get up to 1,000 before Blade Show comes around this year. If I have enough subscribers, I can actually get a media pass and do some video shooting right there on the floor, which I think would be great. I'd love it. I'm sure you'd like it too. So go ahead. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead. Click that button down there and hit the bell next to it. We'll both get something out of it, right? Great. But now on to the knife. This knife actually started off as an April Fool's joke back in April of 2019. The director told his media department to come up with something neat to put on the website, and they came up with this. And next day, they came in to find that they were getting inquiries about it. By the end of the week, they had gotten so many people expressing interest that they actually decided to go ahead and make it. So, what is it? Well, let's start with Sheath. It's an injection molded plastic sheath. It's not Kydex. I'm not sure which material they actually use. They just say injection molded plastic. But it's a nice sheath. Holds the knife very well, as you can see. Got a nice nylon strap for hanging on the belt. Can add or subtract. And of course, it's moldy compatible. Always sweet in this day and age. Blade itself is basically K-Bar's standard marine fighting knife, but with a blue Kraken handle, and the butt cap. They say it's plastic, but it feels to me like it's plastic coated metal. It's a through tang that's been pinned very nicely. Nice guard there. The swell makes it very comfortable in the hand. The blade itself is K-Bar's standard 1095 Cro-Van steel, which is what they're using on almost everything nowadays, except they put a gray powder coat on it. Got some very nice folders here. As you can see, standard clip point like most of their marine fighting knives. A little bit different stamping. You notice it doesn't say Orleans underneath the K-Bar, and it's a slightly different style of K-Bar. Excuse me. But it is still made in Orleans, New York. Or Orleans, I can never pronounce that. On the other side, it says USSF. Interesting knife. Balanced fairly nicely. I mean, yeah, quite nice. But how practical is it? Well, let's put it through its test and we'll find out. And maybe we'll even add a couple new tests that don't really have anything to do with practicality. We'll see. So, yeah, it's got a nice edge on it, which I'd expect from K-Bar. So that's nice. A little big to be using for opening letters and like, but it'll do it. Heavy corrugated cardboard that I've been placing on a little bit. Let's see here. Goes through nicely. I can't hold on to the cardboard. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Let's see how it does this way. And I'm having problems with the cardboard. The cardboard's trying to bend instead of cut. Okay, so. And it's cutting it. There we go. The blade's just a little too thick to do a really good job of cutting the cardboard, but it is doing it. So, paracord. Let's see how it handles paracord. Not sure you'd be using paracord up in space, but you and I probably aren't going to go to space. We'll be using this down here on Earth, so let's see. Yeah, cuts paracord beautifully. Gorgeous. Let's see how well that very tip does here. Come on. Yeah. That's pulling it out of my hands, unfortunately. But it didn't do too bad. Let's see here. Hang packaging test. I'd go through this easy. Let's see. Took a little bit to get the tip in. But once the tip was in, took it apart, no problem. So that works nicely. Let's see here. Leather. Again, can't see you needing to cut leather up in space, but here on the ground, yeah. And my only problem is I can't hold on to the leather. It's cutting it. I just can't hold on to the leather to make a good cut. There we go. Yeah. Dang, leather, gorgeous. So, definitely you can do as a hunting knife. I forgot to mention this overall size. It's 11.75 inches total, 7 inches of blade. So, and it's doesn't say what the thickness is, but that's a pretty thick blade. That's an easy 1/8 of an inch, if not a little bit more, maybe 3/16. Let's see here. On with the test. Zip ties. Yes, I can see them using in space. How does it do? Right through. Well, we'll chop them. Let's find out. Chopped it beautifully. Yep. Going to make quick work of zip ties. Wood. I'm not going to mess around with 3/4 inch lumber from my shop. I'm going straight to the 2x4. And we already saw, for its chopping, it goes pretty nicely. Let's see here. And that's with no real distance or power behind it. Very sweet. Let's see here. Shaving it up beautifully. Very nice. Let's see how it does on batoning. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, if I was using a toning rod or stick, I would do quite quick work of that. I mean, you can see that I'm going through circular grain patterns. It's not a straight grain pattern. It's still biting in beautifully. How about stabbing? Very sweet. Very sweet. So it looks like it's doing great for standard work here around Earth. But you're not going to find wood up in space. What would you use it for up in space? Well, you might need the wiring harness. Let's see how it does with this. Yeah. I mean, if you've got to make repairs on your spacecraft, you may have to splice some wires. Fast work of that. I'm not seeing any. Yeah, that's just some plastic that from the wire that's coming off. Let's get the glove off. Okay. Peel those two wires apart a little bit. There we go. And how well does it do on stripping it? Quite nice. So yeah, you're going to be able to do repairs on your spacecraft As I say, no wood up in space, but you might have to go through metal. It's, see here, it's straight down, I think. Yeah. I don't see any damage there, do you? Yeah, so, yeah. It'll handle metal just fine, which I wouldn't normally do to a knife, but hey. This is sort of a fanciful knife anyway. I'd see how it does. We have to see how it does on other things. Of course, I do have some wood from my wood shop. Let's see how it does on this, shall we? It's cutting, but quite frankly, I've got better knives for that. But it did alright on that 2x4, didn't it? Let's see here. Okay, well, you know, planing that wood down nicely. So, yeah, smooth that out very nicely. That would be useful in the shop. Yeah. Let's see how it does going back to paper. There's no damage to that edge done at all. So there you have it. New K-Bar Space-Bar. Yeah, it's more a fantasy knife in some ways. It's got its roots in K-Bar's old Marine fighting knives and Army fighting knives. It's put together well. And overall, it's a K-Bar. I don't know that I'd really want to carry this on a regular basis out in the field. But if you did, well, that'd be kind of hard to lose that against the leaves and fall now, wouldn't it? And if we ever do end up with a force actually fighting in space, which I have no doubt will happen sooner or later, that blue handle would make it hard to miss if you accidentally lost it while doing EVA. But enough of that. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. For a knife that started off as a April Fool's joke, this is really a sweet knife. Definitely hope you enjoyed. In the meantime, my son's up and he's getting a little loud, so I'd better go get him his morning pills and all that sort of thing. So you take care of yourself. I'll see you again next week. I'll leave you a couple videos over here I think you'll enjoy. And of course, as always, you can hit this target over here to subscribe. Hope you do. And you take care now. Okay? Bye now.